but a rebel, yeah, rebel you are. And as a rebel you can go where the wind blows. So, hi and welcome to episode 4 of Always a Rebel live stream and podcast. I am your host, Jon Magnusson, and I'm very happy that you keep watching and listening to what I do. I'm sorry I had to cancel last week's show due to the flu, and as you might hear, I'm still pretty affected by it. But I really didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row, so bear with me if I sound a little strange today and maybe not as alert as I should be. But I'm trying on pure energy here. Also, I just watched my favorite hockey team here in Sweden win a really, really important game against one of the worst teams in Sweden. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm happy to be here and have you here as well. Hi, Haley. Great to see you. And if anyone else want to leave a comment, hi, Lone. That's my sister. It's really great if I can give you a shout out in the live stream. And if you enjoy this, it means a lot if you click that like button, leave a comment, or if you're listening on iTunes or any other place where you can leave a review, please do so to help me spread the word about the podcast. And now to a very, very kind message I got via Twitter from Anastasia. Hi, John. Thank you so much once again for following me on Twitter. I listened to some of your tracks with great pleasure. You surely made my day. Let me share my impressions. Firstly, Your Dreams and The Street Where I Was Born became my favorites. To my mind, for whatever it's worth, just a meditative and lyrical mood, and I'm not the only one, seems to me full of hopes and joy. So I liked each of your tracks in its own way. Apparently, you put a lot of feelings and talent into them. Thank you so much for this present. Well, thank you very much, Anastasia, for those kind words. This is really what keeps me going. I put in a lot of work in this, and even though I love it, getting these kinds of messages and kind words really gives me the energy to keep doing it. So feel free to follow Anastasia and send me a message. It doesn't even have to be about music. I love it when people share their own stories with me, and I find a lot of inspiration in that. So we have come to the first song of tonight, which is my interpretation of an old Swedish folk melody, and it's actually the song of mine that has by far the most plays on Spotify. This is Visa från Utanmyra. And Haley, I am feeling quite better, still pretty bad, but not as bad as last week. Here we go, Visa från Utanmyra. Thank you all very much. And today I'm broadcasting from my Facebook group. Let's see if that makes any difference. If you're watching, leave a comment so I can say hello to you in the chat. And for today's theme, I'm going to talk about how I started to play the guitar. I think I said in the last episode that I was going to talk about some inspiration, but I felt it's in place to talk a bit about my own journey first. As I've been talking about before, my first instrument was the keyboard. I played it from the age of 9 to about 13, 14. When I started junior high, I kind of lost interest though. Worst case scenario, this could have been the end of my music endeavors. Fortunately, at the age of 14, I started playing guitar instead, thanks to my parents, the church, and one of my best friends. I have to admit, I'm not religious at all, but in Sweden we have a thing called confirmation or affirmation of baptism that the church arranges for youth during the second year of junior high. I wasn't gonna do it, but I had one of my best friends talk me into it. That was also the same friend who sadly passed away in cancer just a few months before the confirmation ended. So in retrospect, I'm really happy I got to do it together with him. During the confirmation, you got to choose different activities to complete. So I chose the guitar, and just the day before the courses was going to start, my parents came home with a nylon string guitar as a surprise gift, and it didn't take many lessons for me to get hooked. I have to admit that even though I had some talent, I was extremely lazy, and it's actually just the last 2 years that I have really developed as a guitar player and as a musician in general. But more on that, what made me start putting in some real effort when it comes to music in another episode. Instead, I want to go back to my friend who talked me into the confirmation. 10 years after he passed away, I wanted to write a tribute to him to keep his memory alive, and that's when I wrote Ode To A Friend, my absolute most emotional and personal song to date, and that's the song I'm going to play for you now. This is Ode To A Friend. You were young, you had barely turned 15 when they stuck you on the ground. You took your voice and then you buried it within. Oh, how I miss that sound. And it was cold when they took you. You were supposed to grow just like us. I never told you, you never heard what a friend you were. And the girl who rose the last inside your soul, now she is crying in front of me. Her tears are falling softly on the floor, while she's asking you for peace. And it was cold when they took you. You were supposed to grow just like us. I never told you, you never heard what a friend you were. And I can still remember knocking on your door, just to say goodbye, my friend. Your father took my hands and shook his head. You had already gone away, and it was cold when they took you. You were supposed to grow just like us. I never told you, you never heard what a friend you were. Thank you very much, and hi Billy. I'm actually feeling quite a lot better, and I hopefully the flu will go away in a few days. And when it comes to that song, even though I played that song hundreds of times, it still feels very emotional. And through the years, I gotten a lot of kind words about it, especially from others who experience personal losses. But to go back a bit to the start of my guitar playing, one of the first songs I think most guitar players learn, especially when they start learning fingerpicking, it's House of the Rising Sun, made famous by The Animals. It might not be the most original song to cover, and I have to admit that song has been played to pieces more than once, but still it's a great song, and being such an important part in the foundation for so many guitarists, I felt I needed to cover it here on the podcast. So without further ado, here's House of the Rising Sun. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it been the ruins of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. 'Cause the only time that he feels satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Now mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your life in sin and misery in the house of rising sun. Thank you very much. I actually think that my voice today suits that song very well. I sound like someone that has been spending a lot of time in the House of the Rising Sun, but actually I haven't. I've been at home. So that's what was my take on House of the Rising Sun. House of the Rising Sun. I hope you enjoyed it and also this episode. I love to hear from you, so send me an email on info@jonmagnusson.se or message me on Messenger, m.me/jonmagnussonof. And also, if you're watching on Twitter, you can leave a comment, and I make sure to get back to you when the live stream is finished. You can tell me a story of your own, suggest a subject for me to talk about, or if you want to hear me sing any special cover song, or ask me a question, or whatever you want. I really enjoy being in touch directly with my listeners. And before we end, I just have to show you one thing. I'm sorry for you that are listening and don't have the video, but this t-shirt is the best ever. It says, if you can see it, thunderbolts and lightnings, very frightening. And then there's a picture of Galileo in the middle. So those who know me and knows about that song knows how much it means to me, and it was actually a birthday gift from my wife. Best birthday gift ever. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream, and I hope to see you again next week. And if we're not talk before that, have a great week. Bye. But a rebel, yeah, rebel you are. And as a rebel